last episode of Project Scirocco, I installed a new starter. In this episode, it's all about the water pump.
Hey, good morning. I'm back with another Scirocco restoration video. If you've been following the series, I appreciate you stopping by, leaving comments and tips and tricks. I really do appreciate all the feedback. If you're new to the channel, this is my 1985 Volkswagen Scirocco Mark II. I'm the only owner of this car, and a little while back I decided to try to bring her back to life, and I've been working step by step from the back of the vehicle to the front, basically replacing everything I can find so that we can get her back on the road. While I am the sole owner of this vehicle, I'm not a trained mechanic. I'm just a guy with a garage and some tools and a desire to tinker a little bit, and it's been working out so far. I've learned a lot about this car, tackled some problems along the way, and I'm sure there'll be more problems waiting for me as we move forward. So let's see, the last video I got in and replaced the starter motor. This time I need to get in and replace the water pump. Again, I'm just trying to replace all of the parts that have been on this car. It's been sitting for 15 years since the last time I can remember that it ran, longer now since I've started it. So today we'll get her up on the quick jacks, dig in and see what we can do about replacing the water pump. The water pump on this vehicle is not so easy to get to. This does have air conditioning, it does have power steering, so I believe what I need to do to get to the water pump is to, number one, remove the power steering pump. Number two, I believe you need to either move the AC compressor out of the way or remove it completely, and then you should have access to the water pump. Let's see, I'll remove the power steering pump to start. I do have new power steering lines that I purchased along with the new power steering pump. When I looked at replacing the lines, the feed line and the return line going into the steering rack, it doesn't look like that's an easy job. I'm not sure I want to tackle that right now. And to tell you the truth, if I take the power steering pump off and really do a close examination of the lines, I don't see any leaking out of the lines themselves. If the lines, I think, look good, I may just replace the pump itself and leave the lines as they are. So, it's a nice day out. Let's get wrenching.
Yeah, baby! Yeah. Oh!
Alright, so here's where the power steering pump is.
It's a very nice pump.
It's on the passenger side of the car for US. This is the tensioning bolt. This needs to be loosened. There's a bolt on the other side, or not on the other side, that needs to be loosened. I've already taken, obviously, the belt off. And then there's a bolt up here which is on a bracket, and if we scoot around, this whole bracket needs to come off, and there's a couple bolts here, and then one, I believe, up hidden inside there. So I've already sprayed those down with penetrating oil, and let's see if we can start loosening these up. Nope. Alright, so there it is. And that last bolt, the power steering pump is now hanging. We've got the one line here. Still not sure what I'm going to do with this. Getting the one line on is going to be really difficult. I don't think it's leaking.
Leaks won't hold me back.
If it's not leaking,
That's disgusting.
I guess what I'm inclined to do is just replace the pump itself, keep the same lines, and if I run into problems later, I can pay somebody to get in there, because boy, the one just looks like it's going to be a bear to get to. So now we've got the pump hanging down. I want to pull this bracket off, and I believe there's 2 bolts holding it on, and then that'll allow me to get up into the water pump. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is take off this outlet. Looks like there's 2 here. I don't know, are these 10s or 13s? Yeah, these are 10s. So I've already drained the coolant from the system. So let's go ahead and take these 2 off and get this flange off. Alright, so let's see, water pump. I can't get to the top bolts of the water pump without removing the AC compressor. So I guess that's what I need to do.
Are you serious?
There's a couple bolts holding the AC compressor onto this big bracket, which then goes onto the engine block.
What?
Need to take that off, and then there's a couple bolts down here onto this bracket and a couple down here. These hoses, this one, I need to take one of them off. This one actually comes over here and it's already busted off of the condenser, so that'll come free. And then this other one, I'll just break it off and then hopefully be able to lift this whole thing out and then get to the water pump.
Exactly.
Shit. Alright, so this keeps getting better and better. I can't get to the water pump without taking the air conditioning compressor off. Okay, on the surface seems simple enough. You got a bolt here, got it loosened, got a bolt here, got it loosened, got a bolt over here, got it loosened and out. There's a 4th bolt down here, and I can't get to it. So I can't get a socket in here without the ratchet hitting here. I can't get a wrench on it without it hitting the power steering reservoir. So, since I got the power steering pump off and I'm going to replace it anyway, and I've got a new reservoir. Looks like I've got to take this reservoir off. There's a line coming from the bottom And there's a line coming off of the side, and then I can pull it off of this bracket, and then that should give me access to the nut that's down there.
These nuts.
What a crock of shit.
Volkswagen, das Auto.
I do have a new one of these, so that's not a big deal. I guess the next thing is to find the old turkey baster and see if I can get this thing open, suck out all the old power steering fluid, and uncouple the hoses on here and get this thing out of here. Jeez.
A lot of good you are, beast brain.
So tip number one, once you take this one off, it exposes that little nipple right there.
What did you say?
That little nipple right there.
That's what I thought you said.
And if this isn't completely empty, what you end up with is a fucking mess on the floor.
Oh, dang it, what an idiot.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
All right, now with the steering pump reservoir out of the way, I can finally get to this bolt, hopefully, which then again the whole idea is to pull this AC compressor out, or at least out of the way, so that I can get to the water pump. Whoa.
Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Come on, baby.
Oh, there it is. God damn it.
Shamalama ding dong.
Oh, finally. Finally. Alright, finally got this piece of shit out.
What did you...
And here, that opens up a lot of space. There's a bracket for the AC. I got the 2 bolts out that go into the water pump. And the bracket, or the bolt that's up here. So this thing, yeah, this thing should come out once I can wiggle it free. So let's try to wiggle this thing free.
Shit! Ew.
All right, one water pump.
Damn.
Took a bit of time to get to. Actually took a little bit longer than I was expecting. This one doesn't look like it's in bad shape, but you can never tell with the bearings and the impeller inside. So, yeah, water pump off. Next video or two, I'll be putting a whole bunch of new stuff on. But again, I appreciate everybody that stopped by. We're getting closer with every video that we do here. At least there's a lot of room in there to work. This wasn't very difficult of a job. It was just time consuming. A couple problems to solve along the way, trying to get to a couple of these bolts that needed to come out. But overall, not too bad. All right, so if you like this kind of content, I'd appreciate it if maybe you give me a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, tell me what you think about it. Give me some more tips and tricks. I'd really appreciate it. I really value everybody that takes the time to leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, maybe think about subscribing if this interests you, and also hit the bell notification so that you'll be notified when I upload more videos. We're getting closer, so we'll see you in the next video.